for Leonard, Fort Mark, Lennox and Addington.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Infrastructure. Minister, yesterday I attended both the technical briefing provided by your ministry as well as your announcement regarding the future of MaRS Phase 2. I was astonished that you accepted the expert panel's recommendation to sink an additional $86 million into the project. What concerns me most about the mess you've made is the risk that you've put taxpayers at by spending an additional 1/3 of the building's value. Your goal to have MaRS replace your loan with a commercial loan is more wishful than realistic. Minister, will you confirm to this House that even if leased up, the government will only receive repayment on the loan and not the $65 million bailout to ARE or the extra $86 million you blew yesterday?
Question. Thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by thanking Michael Nabrega and Carol Stevenson for the great work that they've done on behalf of Ontario taxpayers, Mr. Speaker, and on behalf of those of us in this legislature that want to continue to grow a strong economy, who want to continue to invest in our bioscience cluster, and want to continue, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that Ontario remains a global centre for innovation and growth. Mr. Speaker, their advice, which comes from many, many decades of experience, is advice that provides us with a very solid business plan to ensure, Mr. Speaker, that the investments we've made in MaRS are fully secured, fully protected, to ensure, Mr. Speaker, that the loan that we have made will be paid back in full with interest, and to ensure, Mr. Speaker, that this project will now be finished.
Answer.
The jobs will be created, Mr. Speaker, and this will continue to be an Ontario success story. I'm glad, Mr. Speaker, for that advice.
Thank you.
And I'm glad the government's decided.
Seated, please. Supplementary.
Minister, you can spout all you want about your positive vision for a building, but at the end of the day, it's our party over here that is the only one that cares about the taxpayer. Right. Your government has blown $400 million to build a building we never needed, only to fill it with even more government-funded institutions. Minister, your announcement yesterday confirmed what we've been saying all along. The only way you would fill this building is by leasing it to government-funded tenants. At the end of the day, we are just funding them to pay you. That's not a good business model, Minister, but we already knew there never was a business case for MaRS. Minister, will you tell this House today what percentage of tenants or those who have signed letters of intent are private companies that receive no government funding?
Question. Thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, on one hand, we have the advice of two of the most esteemed people in our business community who have decades of experience in these kind of transactions. On the other hand, we have the advice of the member opposite. Mr. Speaker, call me crazy, but I'm taking the advice of the expert panel, and the opposition will be happy to do that, Mr. Speaker. The opposition will be very happy to do that. But I and this government are taking the advice of the expert panel, Mr. Speaker, because it's a good business plan, it's good business advice. Mr. Speaker, the party opposite, when this project was having challenges, wanted to let a building at college and university rot in the ground, wanted to let this potential building that's going to generate jobs and economic development go to absolute waste.
Answer.
Mr. Speaker, that would have been the wrong thing to do then. It would have been the wrong thing to do now. We're taking the advice of the expert panel, and we're moving forward, Mr.